Today is
May
19th, 2026.
Yes.
We're here at Music City, San Francisco. I think they changed the name.
It's Music City Star Factory.
Star Factory.
Yeah, we're making stars.
I'm here with DJ Rich and Zaynub.
Yeah.
What's up? We just decided to come do a jam session here in one of the studios. They got Pioneer 3000s along with the DJM A9. Super expensive equipment, but very much club standard. So this is one way to get your hands on it and practice, which is what we're here to do. So I guess I'll start off. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Obviously, I've seen your content and like the way you're building up like and progressing in your DJ career. So how's that going for you?
Yeah, oh my God, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
It's good. For background, I started 2 years ago, 2024. So second feels like 3 years in.
Yeah, it flies by.
Yeah, and it's been a good journey for me. I spent a lot of time figuring out what it is I like playing and what I learned I'm good at playing, which isn't always the same stuff.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Yeah, so I've been navigating that, and I took some time off to kind of like focus on myself, and coming back from that, it really nailed into me, like, I gotta keep doing what I love. Yeah. Like, I gotta play what I love. And that's where I'm at now. Like, I think for a while I was like, oh, I have to take on every gig to get experience.
Right.
Now I'm at a point where like, I'm going to take on what aligns with me, and it's going to benefit me.
No, that's a huge step. I didn't learn that until like years in, and I was taking every gig. But no,
I mean, it's a choice. It works.
Yeah.
It's a teaching tool.
And it's a win-win because the people get what they want, you get to play what what aligns with you, and so both parties are happy. It's not one sacrificing for the other. So
right.
Yeah, kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
What got you into DJing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I was curious. I was like, okay.
It's funny. Well, my answer has changed now, which is like interesting because I mean the reason I did it before. The reason I did it before is because I love making people feel comfortable. I love people having a good time. And so I really wanted to be able to create these experiences where everybody felt that way. They felt comfortable. They were having a good time no matter what they were doing. So I kind of had like not necessarily like events focused, but that was a huge passion. Is I wanted to be able to make good events with good music.
Yeah, no, it's so important like to set the vibe.
Yeah. And I also... I've been creating like since I was born, really. Like I do graphic design, I do videography, I do photography, I do it all.
Cool.
And I was actually really focused on videography for a long time. And I was doing that for a couple years, and I really want to like film and direct music videos.
Yeah.
So I actually... part of me was like, well, I know the editing side. I want to learn the music side more. Okay. And so that's actually what got me officially into like, all right, I'm going to, that's what made me take the jump to take a DJ class.
What first got your interest in DJing? Like, did you see like a YouTube clip or like, is there a famous DJ that you wanted to...
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in the Bay. I've been here my whole life, and I have been listening to Jay Espinosa on the radio.
Shout out Jay.
Yes, I've been listening to him since middle school. Like, we had Wild 94.9 at my middle school dance. Yeah. I remember it like vividly, their logo. I remember the party hotline. I remember that whole era. I was too young, but I knew that era. But I listened to him, and I mean, I listened to the other DJs of the time, but his was like...
It stood out.
It stood out, and I would specifically like be like, okay, this is his mix show. Like, he's on this station at this time. It was that and 99.7 and then one more.
Maybe 106 or 10...
he was probably on 106.
Maybe. My bad if I fucked this up. But
Kiss.
Oh, Kiss FM. Wasn't that Kiss FM? I feel like that's LA.
No, he also had... Is it LA? I swear there was another Bay Area one. But
anyways, but Jay Espinosa is a big inspiration for you.
Yeah.
He's one of my big inspirations too, because the same
Yeah.
thing. I actually moved here from Los Angeles back in like 2001. And, you know, the radio is very different here than it is in Los Angeles.
Right.
And in the best way, because I got exposed to a lot of more new music. And it was around the time, like, hi-fi music started just, like, really blowing up. And so, what was it, like, Rick Lee, Scotty Fox, Chuy Gomez, Jay Espinosa.
Chuy Gomez, legend.
And then Jose Melendez, like, all these guys were on the radio. And I just kept hearing their names, and I was like, oh, man. I was like, these guys know what they're doing. Like, these are, I was like, and so, and we didn't have phones back then, so all we had was a radio on like, drive. Right. So yeah, shout out Bay Area legends, man. Yeah, inspiring bunch of us before we even knew what DJing was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I didn't think about it as like, oh, there's this equipment, there's turntables.
No,
that didn't really like fill in my head until like I don't even think I really thought about turntables, to be honest. And also growing up personally, like, I mean, I grew up in an Indian Fijian household. We had cassettes. Mm-hmm. Like, Bollywood music is on cassettes. My mom had a stereo. She had those big Panasonic stereos with cassettes on each side. And then the newer ones with the interchangeable CD player. Yeah, but I didn't really know about records. So for me, turntablism, that came like later on. I did at some point, I think maybe like early 2010s, I kind of got into watching DJs on Twitch. Yeah. And that's when I kind of went down the rabbit hole of looking at DJ competitions. Yeah. And then I saw, makes sense, Jay Espinosa is like a champion. I'm like, okay, this adds up.
Yeah, no, it was a big deal. Yeah, it was the Red Bull competitions. Was it twice he won?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we look up to that stuff. For me, I like just to jump on it. I started back in like 2008. We had an after-school DJ club, and this was before we knew anything about DJing or was a thing. So I learned about DJ Qbert, San Francisco native, and Tiesto while he was doing trance in Europe. And so this was all like on YouTube clips. And my friends was like, yeah, we're doing an after school DJ club. You should come. I don't know anything about DJing. They're like, just come. And I fucking loved it.
That's dope.
Yeah, I started off with the...
No, I got questions, but go ahead.
Okay. No, I started off with drum and bass. I learned hip hop and then some techno and trance. Yeah.
Okay, so after school DJ club, what did that look like? Like, what were you guys playing on? What was the vibe like?
So it was early CDJs. So probably like this what was it, 1,000?
700?
Something, one of those. And so there were CDs that like actually go in.
Okay, yeah.
But it loads it like an MP3, right?
Right.
And so it'll match up it'll show you the BPM on it, but you still had to listen for like when to come in.
Right.
And then, so they had CDJs, and then they had one vinyl turntable where they're like, okay, we're going from one CDJ to a vinyl record. And I was like, what the hell? You can't see anything. You don't like,
right.
Yeah. But, you know, you start off easy, just kind of matching up. And once I got my first transition, it was so satisfying. It was like the best feeling ever. I was like, what is happening? This is so cool. And then from there, I asked him, I was like, hey, like, you know, we're graduating soon. And I was like, how can I start DJing? And like, how much is the equipment? He's like, well, it's going to cost you a good, like, maybe $5,000 for like a whole setup like this.
And this is 2008, you said?
2008.
Okay. This is high school?
So this is high school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so fast forward maybe like 8 years, I started hearing about Serato and like the digital like wave of DJing. And I was like, oh, I can get a digital controller for like $200. I was like, let me just mess around with it. And sure enough, my friends were like, "Hey, my friend's throwing a party. You want to come DJ?" I was like, "Sure." Bought like one like PA speaker, and I was like jamming off of this little the SB2 Pioneer controller. Did a whole fucking party with that, and it like went off. And it was such a good time, and I was like, oh shit, I can actually do this. Well, I wanted to bounce it back to you. Where have you been DJing lately?
Great question. Well, I took I talked about earlier, I took a break, so I've been doing a lot more like corporate and like random like private gigs here and there.
Yeah.
Right now I just got into the rotation at Sky Zone in Fremont.
No way.
Yeah. So
that's a cool gig.
It's super interesting. I was really surprised. Like my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to DJ in Fremont? Like it's like an hour and a half, super chill. You'll crush it." I'm like, "Okay, where?" He's like, "Sky Zone." I'm like,
what club is that?
I'm like, "Where they're jumping?" He's like, "Yeah." He's
No,
like,
that's such a fun gig, I'm sure.
no, and then he's like, "Yeah, the DJ booth is by the massage chairs. It's really chill." That's the only context I got. I'm like, so in my head, I've never been to this particular Sky Zone.
Yeah.
And I also haven't been to a Sky Zone, period. Anyways, so I started doing that.
Yeah.
It's fun. They have glow nights, which are a thing, I guess.
Hey, it's a gig.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like it's good energy with the kids.
It is.
Just like
It's actually, it's like super beneficial because I'm getting to learn what the kids like.
Yeah.
Like the little kids.
Yeah.
Like otherwise I
that's a
wouldn't be.
huge challenge for me. I have no idea what they like. They're like, play the TikTok, whatever. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, literally, like, and it's so, well, it's interesting because earlier we are talking about the radio. Like, we listen to the radio, we find music from there. Now they find it through TikTok, but my thing is, like, it's harder for me to discover music. I mean, first of all, I don't have a TikTok right now. But what I did for a while, even with that, you're still getting the algorithm that's attached to your demographic in some way. So it's not like the radio where it's just one airwave for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So it's much harder to figure out what this generation likes. Because then they have their own algorithms, and then they have their own specific like trends. And the trends, it's almost like the trends dictate the music now.
Yeah, and they're what, like 30-second clips?
Yeah, and then they're just like, I want to hear this part of the song. I'm like, okay.
This part exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think you're not alone. I think every DJ out right now is having that same issue or that same like dilemma. We'll find a way to adapt, I'm sure.
Yeah. And they're not in the clubs yet.
Yeah. Unless you go to Sky Zone.
That's true. Well, you know what I learned though? I learned this the first day that I played at Sky Zone. I had like 6 kids coming up to me, and most of them were nice, but I had a moment where I was like, even the meanest kid isn't as bad as a drunk guy like yelling in my face.
Absolutely.
Like, I will take your song request because you're like 6 years old.
Yes.
But you, sir, you are a grown man. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, and it's important, like, stand your ground on those, like, when you have a firm no. It's with the drunk guys.
Yeah.
And the drunk guys and people. It's a challenge for sure, and that's something I definitely had to learn to have thick skin for. It was like, it'll talk shit to you. Like, I'm like, dude, like, get away from me.
Yeah. I did a high school prom last month, and I had a lot of, I accepted song requests. They asked me beforehand.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, it's fine. And so I had like a lot throughout the prom, but towards the end, I had this girl that wanted, it's Cupid Shuffle, but it's like a newer version. Flex.
Oh,
I think that's what it's called.
I thought it was something Boots on the Ground.
Boots on the Ground. That's different, but same concept.
Same
but
thing.
So Cupid, the same guy that did Cupid Shuffle, he made a new version of that song called Flex. And this is what the Gen Z kids, this is what the TikTok generation like. That's their Cupid Shuffle. So this girl kept requesting it from me, and I was like, okay, let me get the song.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're at the Regency Ballroom. well, Wi-Fi was not like totally amazing.
Yeah.
So I spent like 20 minutes trying to get this song, and
Yeah.
this girl kept coming back to me, and like she started getting mad, and I'm like,
Yeah.
she's like, how come I heard all these other songs but mine? And I had this moment where I was like, all right, this is not an 18-year-old, this is like a teenager.
Yeah.
But like I had the moment of like, it's thick skin, but then it's also the patience to navigate it, like of recognizing they're just fixated on their
Right.
desires, like they're
Right.
not really thinking about
They're not thinking like a DJ.
Yeah.
They're not thinking of all the work that it takes and the accessibility of getting that into our DJ software. And then finally, they're used to things happening in an instant.
Yeah,
And so that's the challenge, yeah. But yeah, it's a journey for sure. And you said you started how long ago?
2024.
2024. Okay. So yeah, you've already had quite the experience in the past almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
What would you say has been the hardest part about DJing so far?
The lifestyle. So I work a full-time job Monday through Friday, and I don't have my weekends free. But I got to manage my time. I still got to have a life. I still got to errands. I work out, go running, train boxing and Muay Thai, which has been super helpful in maintaining somewhat of a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
While in the meantime, you're in the nightclubs with the unhealthy stuff,
Right.
Which is a lot of fun. I love it, but just got to balance that out. And I had my moments where I was like, okay, I got a little too crazy, and then obviously on top of that, you're getting off late night, and so you're hungry. You want to grab some fast food. The only things open is like really unhealthy stuff.
Right.
And then I'm losing sleep. I was like sleep deprived, and I didn't even like realize it. So yeah, I think that's been like the biggest challenge, and I think I'm finally like finding my balance of like, all right, I'm going to dedicate time to DJing here. I'm going to dedicate time for myself and like my health. Because I think, I'm doing this going on like 10 years now. And so I can't, be showing up half-assed. There's a level of professionalism that you got to maintain. And I think that's something that'll take you a long way and separate you from the people doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
The people doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah. So I mean, it puts you on DJing puts you on a bit of on a pedestal. You get some better treatment. You get recognized a little bit more. Fame and like I mean, I'm not even that famous, but it's just more like people kind of get this status like from it. And then it's like, oh, I only do VIP sections, or, I'm only like talking to you if you're bringing girls, and like, drugs and like all this other stuff that comes along with it. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And I've loved music for a long time, and like I've really enjoyed DJing as a passion. And the moment it started becoming like too much of a business and just being like very transactional, I was like, no. So I only started playing in the places that like trusted my judgment, and they would let me play what I wanted to play. And I didn't have to worry about selling like $10,000 bottles or whatever. Like I want people to go have a good time. And I think that was the biggest thing. Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad that you brought up like how DJing puts you on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I've realized, like, especially I think I've learned that a lot this year and last year, especially. So year 2 and year 3 is kind of, it's such an ego trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a believer that we're always students and we're always teachers of DJing, but also in everything. And part of my belief with that is that we're never smarter than another person. Like, they can have all the experience, they can have all the wisdom, but you're never too old to learn a new trick or learn a new perspective.
Right.
And so this year and last year, I kind of saw people who they let their egos and their reputation speak for them instead of their own character, their own behavior.
The fact that you recognize that is a big deal, because that'll take people will want to not just hire you, but affiliate themselves with you because of your character.
Yeah.
And, you know, it not just become some like hot shot and like, you know, don't talk to me. Like, no, chill, bro.
And it's, earlier you talked about, like, you know, when DJing becomes like transactional, like a career, it's not fun. And that's what I'm realizing about relationships with other DJs. Like, if they're my DJ friends, I don't, like, it's not transactional for me. Like, it's like, I mean, I do think there's value in networking and, you know, making connections that get you like gigs and all that. But I think when the ego comes into play and they turn things transactional, that's when it's like, okay, you gotta, that's when you really realize DJing is a career you gotta protect yourself in.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be afraid to say no or like back away from things that aren't for you or aren't aligning. One of the other Bay Area DJs, Noble Slaps, I think he even put out a thing. He was like, it's not always about networking, but about building a community. Like a community of people that like you kind of like actually like bond with, and not just like, oh, hey, I know this guy can bring like 50 people or I think you're seeing it for what it is, and that's something to hold on to.
For sure.
Yeah.
One more question for you.
Sure.
On the topic of DJ communities, are there any that like you particularly like have loved or that have helped you grow or anything?
No. So shout out to all my guys that like, you know, really like fuck with me, because it's I did a lot of open format for like my beginning years, and I played at like bars in the East Bay, and it was such a mixed crowd, right? And so it was like I kind of like, I would say like people please, you know, kind of based off of like who was there. And then it wasn't until I started playing the nightclubs here in San Francisco that I was like, oh, you know what? I actually do really well in the reggaeton and hip hop nightclubs, and it started to kind of build, and so I started focusing a little bit more on that, and so I started kind of building in the Latin like nightclub community, and just kind of showing up and supporting other guys, like genuinely supporting, you know, like showing up. I'll bring friends, be like, oh hey, you know, that's my DJ friends, and this and that, and you know, just providing that like space that like everybody can come and like, hey, I know this is what you like, this is what we have, like let's make it all work. So that's been really helpful for my own like DJ growth, and it's helped me kind of like break out in the sense where before I started playing the nightclubs here in San Francisco, I'd only ever played in the East Bay. So San Francisco nightclubs were like a goal for me. It was like not unheard of, but like it was a hurdle to get over. I was like, I've never played in San Francisco, and one of the biggest cities in California, or like for nightlife, right? And so it's a big deal to play out here.
How far into DJing was that you finally got to play in the city?
It was post-COVID. So like 2021 was when I really started playing out in San Francisco. I went to a BPM Supreme mixer, and a few of the local DJs like Jay Spinoza, I think, who was at Panic City, the owner of Bruno's.
Panic City is local?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, or I think he is. I think he was
shit.
from out here, but
I didn't know that. I think I know their edits and stuff.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
like, oh shit. Okay.
And one of the biggest things they said was like, be a part of the community, show up, like that's gonna be engaged in the like nightlife, because that's kind of get you recognized and you know what the vibe is in certain places, and so whenever it comes to your chance, you already know what's expected.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was a big lesson. And so all the DJing that I did in my bedroom and in the bars in the East Bay did not compare to just showing up and like really being a part of the community. Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah, no, that was
right.
a great conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad. All right, so.
Any last words?
No, let's keep playing for the passion, playing for the love of the music, and like just keep the vibes going.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Yeah, all right. Peace out.